Hello everyone, Jack here with another video, and this is about tips I have for you on Doomsday Heist. Due to the time of the videos, I need to do this quick, so how about we go and do it now. So the first preps, I do recommend you do the solo public glitch thing. It's not that big of a deal really. Rockstar can't patch it to my knowledge. And that's good for Rockstar, because that actually brings more players to the table. But anyway, enough of that. Anyway, first one is the preps. I recommend all of them you can do by yourself, but I recommend for the deluxe solos you have 2 players, just so you can save yourself a lot of time, because you have to do 2 attempts if your facility is too far. And I mean 2 attempts. That means you have to the timer will run out, and then you have to redo it, and then, well, that's going to take way long, so you have to leave the lobby, wait to start, or try and find a way to cancel it. Everything else is everything else you can do by yourself, easy peasy, so just don't worry about it. For the setups, all of them. For the setups, I recommend all of them. You do need at least one other person to get it started, so I recommend only having one person to help you. The reason why I say one other person is because of chance of dying by another if a player dies or F's up or leaves during the match or has a connection issue, the heist will end and you fail. So I recommend as least amount of players as possible for all of these ones. Don't go for the most. Anyway, that's the setup's done. Now for the finale. The finale of Act 1. The finale of Act 1 is not even a trouble. For more money, I do recommend 2 other players. Or a high chance of success is 2 players minimum. And make sure you only have 2 players. Because it's more better to have only 2 players, because there's connections, deaths and that. And you get more money from it. No, seriously, you actually can give more money to that one person and give yourself more money. Which is a win-win. Even if it's just one random, it still means you can still at least clear it. So, yeah. So that's 1. So Act 2 is a little bit harder. And I recommend, on the preps, you can do them all yourself. But the Strongberg, I do recommend an extra player. I do recommend an extra player for the, for that one. For the Strongbergs. The setups, it's the same thing. Apart from, okay, no, all of them are the same thing, but the wire van will be your hardest one. For that one, you do have to balance aggression and... yeah, you got to balance aggression and speed. The reason why I say aggression and speed, because you have a time limit on it. And you have to spray them off. I recommend for speed, the player who's in the van that is meant to be grabbing the stuff gets out of the vehicle when they get there, and then he can start killing the enemies easily, and then once the fire's done he can run straight to it whilst the other one is being cooled down. I do recommend only 2 players because of death chance, and that's it. But be careful with the last bit. The second to last bit will be mostly the hardest one to do, because there's not really much you can do there. Plus the time will still go even if you do clear it, so you need to keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it. Nothing else is harder, and the Strongbergs is just a walk in the park, so don't worry about that. And the inside of the base, I do recommend you take it slow. And kill every single enemy you can get spotted by. Once you've hacked all the things, however, you do get spotted anyway. But that just means it makes it easier for you, because there won't be as much enemies attacking you at once. So I recommend you do it stealth, obviously. And I recommend only 2 players still. Bear in mind, you can use the lift to keep one guy there if you wish. Unless you don't have to do that much speed to my knowledge. Just complete them all and that's it. So keep that in mind. And the agent you're supposed to be saving, not Agent 14, that's number 3. I do recommend a vehicle for the watch out, look out, the night shark, and I recommend the one in the lookout just survive. That's it. It's not really a lot of enemies go into the building at all. It's not even that much of a problem. It's very easy to deal with the guys that enter the building, but you have to kill all most of the enemies off first. But getting out will be the biggest problem, as well there will be helicopters and all that. So take it real slow when you get out. More slower than what you would on another one. Or you can try and pick them up, but bear in mind they could be winced in a moment, so be careful on that one. And the finale, I do recommend 2 players. Only 2 players, just because of the money issue, money bits, and well, disconnections and that, you know, because if one of them disconnects, you lose a checkpoint, you lose all the checkpoints, which is annoying. You know, it's annoying. And now Act 3 is the hardest one of the lot. For all the preps, I'm pretty certain all of them are easy. You don't have to have much, so I'm pretty certain you can just do them all by yourself if you want to. But don't worry about that. And now this is where the problem arises. Now this is where the problem arises on the setups. The Agent 14, I do recommend a Night Shark most of the time, but an Armored Kuruma is good for minigun dudes. So keep that in mind. Because they will use, the helicopters will mostly use rockets, I think. I'm not 100% now, but I recommend a Night Shark. And try and put them in the water. I do recommend only 2 players for that. And for the big plane, I suggest 100% for 2 players only, no more, because there's a chance that 3rd or 4th player will use the bombs and that will F up your timing. So you have to adjust, is what I'm saying. But everything else, apart from one more, the last one I'm going to talk about on the setups is the one with the big turret, big rockets, defend the helicopter. I recommend 3 at the least, 3 players, because you need 2 people to control the rockets vehicle and 1 more to use a random vehicle of their choice, mostly an Armored Kuruma. So, you know, you can actually survive, so the guy can survive longer. So I do recommend only 3 players, sorry, for that one. The finale is the hardest. I really recommend that you only have 2 players with this still. You can have more, which could make it easier, but, you know, disconnections and that. So keep that in mind. But I recommend, all of it's not that hard, but I will recommend a tank to pick. I do recommend the tank. And now the hacking is the hardest bit. As soon as you start hacking, the enemies will stop attacking you, but they will probably aim at you. So, what I think is the other person that's not hacking to make sure he survives. And as soon as the other player is done with the hack, as soon as they say they've done all the nodes, the other person should be defending the guy, starting shooting. I recommend hiding real close to the player. Real close to the player that's hacking, so you can actually get it, but make sure you're safe. And that's pretty much it. Everything else, well, not that big of a deal. You just have to find a different you just need to find your own strategy for those. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.